Hey there everybody, Max here, and this is a video response to a tag my good friend and one of my biggest supporters, Manoli of Manoli's vlog, challenged me to do, so I'm going to do this tag as a video response to his first tag video that he did. So yeah, it's basically a 10-question tag. And of course I challenge everyone who watches this, whether you be a subscriber of mine or whether you just be somebody watching this video, I challenge you all to this tag. It's a 10-question tag. And yeah, I guess I'll get underway with it without further ado. Question number 1. Get a random book, turn to page 18, line 4. What does it say? Well, since I don't read novels, the only book I have around here is this, my Sonic Adventure 2 Player's Guide, so I guess I'm just going to have to use that, so just give me a second and I'll read out. Let's see the line. Line 18, or page 18, line 4 says, destroy them quickly. So yeah, that was from that book. I know it's not an actual novel book, but I figured that pretty much counts as a book even if it's not an actual novel book. So yeah, moving on to question number 2. Stretch out your left arm as far as you can. What do you touch? I touch, of course, the chair to my left. This chair right here. So yeah. Anyway, question number 3. What was the last thing you watched on TV? The last thing I watched on TV was, of course, a few minutes ago I watched Alphas. It's a really great show. It's basically about these team of people. They work for the government and they basically all have various superpowers and super abilities, and yeah, I'm not going to divulge too much into it. It's a really great show though. It has a great cast. And yeah, if you ever get the chance to check out Alphas, totally do. It's a really great show. And I'm not just saying that. I wouldn't just say that something's a really great show unless it actually is. But yeah. Question number 4. What did you dream about last night? To be honest, I don't even remember what I dreamed about last night. I'm one of those people where basically after I get up 10-15 minutes later, I forget whatever it was I dreamed about a lot of the time. And that was pretty much the case this morning. I got up and 10-15 minutes later I forgot what I dreamed about. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question. I wish I did have an answer to that. Question number 5. When was the last time you laughed? The last time I laughed. To be honest, that was probably the last time I laughed was on YouTube when I seen Goofy Dude's latest sketch. That really made me LOL. So yeah, I think that's the last time I laughed. If you haven't seen Goofy Dude, go check him out. He's a really funny guy. And yeah. Question number 6. Do you believe in love at first sight? Well, basically, to answer this, the simple answer is no, I do not believe in love at first sight. I don't think it's possible to see somebody and fall in love with them right away, and I've never basically fallen in love with somebody just by seeing them. So to be honest, no, I don't believe in love at first sight, though I know people that do. Question number 7. Are you in love right now? Okay, for this question I'm assuming they mean, am I in love with anybody I know right now? And pretty much I'm not in love with anybody I know at the moment. I love celebrities, if that counts. I'm a huge fan of Karen Gillian, who plays Amy Pond on Doctor Who. Huge fan of her. She's probably the most beautiful and sexiest redhead on the planet. And she's a great actress. And for those of you who haven't seen Doctor Who, if you're into the whole science fiction thing, I totally suggest you check it out. It's a great show. I love Lucy Hale. I'm a huge fan of hers. She's my favorite character on Pretty Little Liars. And yes, I watch Pretty Little Liars. I'm not ashamed to admit that, even though it's a chick show. And it's a really good chick show, and Lucy Hale, of course, plays my favorite character on that show, Arya. And I'm also a huge fan, and I also love Jennifer Love Hewitt. She is got a perfect body. She's an amazing actress. She's a great singer. A lot of things that are great about her. And yeah, so I guess that kind of counts as in love, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I hope that answers the question, kind of. 8. What is your favorite memory? Well, to be honest, I have a lot of favorite memories that I've had over my life, but I'll just mention 2 for the purposes of this vlog. I know I'm only supposed to mention 1, but I figured I'd mention 2. The first one was a memory that happened to me recently, which I talked about in one of my previous vlogs, going to an Aaron Pritchett concert in Penetane, Ontario. I absolutely had a blast. It was an honor meeting Aaron Pritchett, since he's one of my favorite country singers, and it was great seeing him live. I never got to see him live before. Not sure if I'll ever get to see him live again, but I hope I do one day. And it was just a totally awesome concert. I enjoyed every minute of it. And the second one would probably have to be before I moved up to Midland, the place where I'm currently living now. My friends, before I moved up here, decided to throw me a going away party. We had a really great time at it. We drank booze, we got drunk and partied and had fun. We partied under this little bridge near a subdivision that we used to hang out at, and it was just a totally awesome party. We had Timbits. I actually rode my bike drunk to Tim Hortons, and I know some of you are going to say, you shouldn't be doing that, Max. You could have crashed your bike or crashed into a car. And honestly, normally I would agree with most people on that. Most people probably would crash their bike, but the thing that sets me apart from a lot of people is that when I'm drunk, my focus is 100% spot on. I can focus a lot better when I'm drunk, and I can basically make it look like I'm not drunk when I am drunk. So yeah, it's pretty much most of the time hard to tell when I actually am drunk. So yeah, those were 2 of my favorite memories instead of 1. You don't have to do one if you don't have to do more than 1 if you do this tag. I just chose to do more than 1. Question number 9. What are you afraid of? Well, there's 3 things that I'm afraid of. 1 is, of course, falling from high places, and a lot of people will say that this fear is the same fear as a fear of heights, and basically I don't look at that as the same fear. I look at it as 2 different fears, because the fear of heights is a fear of being up high. I love being up high. I used to climb trees and go to the very top of tall trees when I was younger, and I used to love climbing up high. I just have a fear of falling from high places, and I consider those 2 different fears, the fear of falling from high places and the fear of heights. My second fear is, of course, being buried alive, and this is a pretty understandable fear, because if you're buried 40, 50 feet under the ground, there is pretty much no chance whatsoever that even if somebody realizes you're alive underground, there's pretty much no chance that they're going to be able to dig you up fast enough to save you. So if you're buried alive, you're pretty much screwed. So yeah, that's one of my fears. My third fear is kind of like a double entendre fear, I guess you could say. I have a fear of being put under mind control by a very ugly woman and being forced to be her slave and her sex slave, which I know is kind of an unusual fear, but I honestly have a fear of that, being hypnotized or being put under mind control by a really ugly person to be their slave or their sex slave. So yeah, that's 3 of my fears. I also have a fear of rejection, which is why I don't usually go up to really pretty girls and try and make friends with them, because I'm always afraid they're going to reject me. And yeah, that's pretty much the mentality I have. It keeps me from making friends with a lot of girls, and it basically makes me shy around a lot of girls because I've always had this fear of rejection when it comes to really pretty girls. Basically based on my past, because I used to go up to a lot of pretty girls and try and become friends with them, and they would pretty much shoot me down every time, and that's pretty much where that minor little fear came from. But yeah, that's enough for the fears question. Question number 10, what makes you feel good? Well, a lot of stuff makes me feel good, but I'll just mention a few things. I like it when I get new subscribers on my channel. That always makes me feel good because, like I've always said, I know my channel's not like overly interesting like a lot of channels out there, but I do try to make it interesting. I always love it when I get subscribers. Another thing that makes me feel good is when one of my favorite YouTubers comments on one of my vlogs or leaves me a channel comment. An example of this is my good friend and one of my all-time favorite singers, the very beautiful and talented Danielle Lowe. Danielle Lowe. I hope I said her name right, Danielle. I think I did. And she's this awesome YouTube singer. I'll probably put a link in the description of this video so you can go check her out. And I'm going to try and use the YouTube editor, and if I put in an annotation to her page, it'll be right there. So yeah, go check her out. And if not, if there isn't an annotation there, a link to her page will be in the description of this video. But yeah, that makes me feel good. Getting positive comments on my videos makes me feel good. And just wanted to say, Danielle Lowe, I really appreciate it when you comment on my vlogs and when you take the time to comment on my page. It really means a lot to me because you are one of my all-time favorite singers on YouTube, and it just means the world to me that one of my favorite YouTube singers takes the time to comment on some of my vlogs and comment on my channel from time to time. So thank you very much for that, Danielle Lowe. Danielle Lowe. Sorry, it's kind of tricky for me to say your last name. I'm not sure why. But yeah, that makes me feel good. Some other stuff that makes me feel good, making out with a beautiful girl. When a beautiful girl flirts with me, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, I always like it. And yeah, that's all I can think of for that question. So yeah, anyway, this has been a tag. This has been me answering some questions for a tag I was challenged to by my good friend Manoli of Manoli's vlog. A link to his channel will be in the description of this video. Go check him out. He's an awesome YouTuber. He does really interesting videos, and he does a lot of collaborations with other YouTubers and musical and stuff like that. So yeah, go check him out if you have the chance. And like I said, I'm going to try and use the YouTube editor to put some annotations in this. So if I am able to put some annotations of this, a link to his page will appear up here in this corner of the screen. If not, there will be a link to his channel in the description of this video. And yeah, anyway, this has been another question answering vlog. I'm of course Max Callan, and this has been Maximum Vlogging Entertainment. And yeah, like I said, if you want to do this tag, the questions will be in the description of this video for the tag. And if you do this tag, I ask that you please and thank you leave a video response with your answers to the questions for this tag as a video response to this video, as I would really like to see them. And yeah, anyway, I hope you all have a great evening, afternoon, night, whatever it is when you watch this vlog. And yeah, talk to you later, people. Bye for now.